This is Padel, the fastest growing sport in the world. And if you're new to the game or just curious, here's everything you need to know. So first off, what is Padel? In short, it's a racket sport that mixes tennis and squash played on an enclosed court. Honestly, once you try it, you'll get addicted fast. A quick history lesson. Padel was invented in Mexico in 1969 by Enrique Corcuera. This was the first paddle court ever invented. A fun fact is he was trying to build a small tennis court in his backyard, but because he didn't have much space, he added walls. And just like that, Padel was born. By accident. The sport quickly spread to Spain and Argentina, and now it's exploding all over the world. Let's start with the court. A paddle court is 10 meters wide and 20 meters long. It's fully enclosed with glass walls and metal mesh. There's a net in the middle, just under a meter high, and white lines marking the service boxes. The service line is 3 meters from the back wall, and the center line divides the two service boxes. If you're indoors, the ceiling should be at least 6 meters high. Another random fact, in the US, paddle courts cost between $60,000 and $80,000 to build. Equipment. To play, you only really need 3 things: a paddle racket, balls, and shoes. The balls look just like tennis balls, but they're slightly smaller and have less pressure. For shoes, you can use any sneakers at first, but paddle-specific shoes have better grip for quick direction changes on the turf. And the racket, that's where it gets a little bit more fun. There are 3 main shapes: round, teardrop, and diamond. Round rackets give you more control, diamond gives you power, and teardrop sits right in between. Most are made from carbon fiber, and every racket comes with a wrist strap, which is mandatory for safety in all tournaments and because you must always be connected to your racket when you hit the ball. Players. Padel is almost always played in doubles, 2 versus 2. There are single courts, but they're smaller and less common. How to play. Each point starts with a serve. You must serve underhand from behind the service line, and you must let the ball bounce on your side before hitting it. You can't step on or over the service line when serving. You serve diagonally from right to left, then left to right. The ball must land inside the opposite service box before touching any wall. If it touches the metal fence or glass directly on the serve, it's out. If the ball bounces first and then hits the fence, that's also out, but this only applies on the serve. If your first serve is a fault, you get a second serve, just like in tennis. But if you miss both, the point will go to your opponents. If the ball clips the net and lands correctly, it's a let, and you get to replay the serve. To decide who serves, you can flip a coin, spin a racket, or rally for it. The winner chooses whether to serve first and picks which side to start the match. Within each team, players alternate who serves every game. And it is recommended that when your partner is serving, you take the volley position, sort of around this area. Scoring. The scoring system is exactly like tennis. 15, 30, 40 game. 6 games to take a set, and you must win by 2. At 6-6, you play a tiebreak to 7 points. Matches are usually best of 3 sets. Some tournaments use the golden point rule. If the score hits deuce, whoever wins the next point takes the game. Unlike advantage, where you need to win by 2 consecutive points. During the point, once the serve is in, here's how it works. The ball can bounce once on your side, or you can volley it before it bounces. After it bounces, it can hit the wall or the fence, and it's still in play. You can even use your own wall after one bounce to return the ball to the other side. Keep in mind that this can only be done with the glass and not the metal fence. The rally ends when the ball bounces twice, it hits the wall or fence before bouncing, or you hit the net, yourself, or your partner. If the ball hits the roof, or any object above the court like the light for example, it's automatically out. Faults and outs. If your serve hits the net and it doesn't land in the box, that's out. If your serve hits the net and it lands in the box but hits the fence, that's also a fault. If you serve above your waist, fault. If the ball hits the wall or the fence before bouncing, fault. If the ball hits you or your partner, fault. However, if you hit your opponent before the ball bounces, that's your point. If you touch the net with your racket or body, fault. If the ball bounces twice, fault. And another one that's hard to detect sometimes is if your ball double taps your racket. That is also a fault. And also, you must be holding your racket at all times when making contact with the ball. Unlike tennis, you cannot throw your racket and touch the ball and get it over the net. You must let the ball cross the net or bounce on your side before hitting it, except in the case where it's rebounding back over due to spin or wind. In that case, you're allowed to follow through and hit it on your opponent's side, as long as you don't touch the net. When your smash bounces and flies out of the court, either over the side wall by 3 or back wall by 4, that's your point, unless your opponent runs outside and hits it back in, salida. If they manage to bring it back in before it bounces twice, the rally continues. The walls. The glass walls are what make Padel unique. You can use them to defend, slow down the game, or even set up an attack. Basic strategy. Padel isn't about power, it's about control. The goal is to control the net and force your opponents back. When defending, hit lobs to push them off the net. When attacking, keep the ball low and use the corners. Always communicate. Call the shots, move together, and cover the middle. Match format. Matches are best of 3 sets. You switch sides after every odd-numbered game, like after the 1st, 3rd, and 5th. Padel shots. Here are some of the most common Padel shots. Because the sport grew in Spanish-speaking countries first, most of Padel's vocabulary are in Spanish. So forehand and backhand, these are the basic ground strokes. Then there's the volley, hitting the ball before it bounces, usually at the net. Then there is the lob, arguably one of the most important shots in Padel, a high defensive shot to push opponents back and regain space. The smash, arguably one of the hardest shots to learn, an overhead shot to finish the point, usually with power or spin. Then there's the by 3, when your smash bounces and flies out of the court over the side wall 3 meters high. Then the by 4, when your smash bounces and flies out over the back wall 4 meters high. Then there is the bandeja, a controlled overhead shot used to maintain the net position. Then the vibora, viper, like a bandeja but faster with more spin and aggression. Bajada, an overhead shot used when the ball rebounds high off the wall and hit downward with control. The chiquita, a soft, low shot played to your opponent's feet when they're at the net. The drop shot, dejada, a soft, delicate shot that barely crosses the net, designed to surprise your opponent who is standing far back. It forces them to sprint forward and opens space for your next shot. Salida, when you run outside the court to retrieve a ball that bounces and flew out, the exit shot. Cadete or cadet, a behind-the-back trick shot. The rouleau, a topspin, softer smash aimed to bounce and hit the fence or side glass. Gancho, similar to rouleau but flatter and with less topspin. A fun fact just to close out, the International Padel Federation, FIP, is working to make Padel an Olympic sport by 2032 in Brisbane, Australia. And that's Padel, the rules, the courts, the shots, and everything you'll need to know to start playing. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more Padel videos. And also if you have any questions, if there's something that I've missed or I didn't cover, please leave your questions in the comment below. We read every single one of them. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.